Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's jump right into this. As you may know, I did a 14-day cruise to Hawaii. We went out of California, Long Beach is what it was. So we went out of Long Beach and it was 4 days to Hawaii and then 4.5 days around the islands and then 4.5 days back to Ensenada, Mexico, and then ending up back in Long Beach. I want to give you my personal opinion of the cruise itself. Okay, we went on Carnival and it was a 14-day cruise. Personally, I did not feel that they had enough entertainment for 4 days at sea. We did 4 days at sea, and there were times when I was quite bored, to be honest, climbing the walls. But on the other hand, I'm a doer. I like to be moving. I like to be doing things. I like to be active. So during that time, I went to the gym. They have a gym, and it was not bad. Not too many people were using it. Most people were using the buffet, which I did do a little of that as well because there wasn't anything else to do for those 4 days. Now, of course, they want you to gamble. They want you to go and spend money in their shops. I did a little clip of the shops. You can look back and see what the clips of the shop. I couldn't go in the casino. They don't allow live video, or not live video, but videos of any kind really in a casino, and that's understandable. But anyway, I like Carnival and I will do Carnival again. I am just not the person that can be on a ship for 4 days. They did have a comedy show. There was one night that it was canceled. They had hula lessons in one of the bars and things like that. But to be honest with you, it wasn't anything that really interests me. I wanted to see some shows and things like that, but they didn't really have that option. So overall, the 4 days at sea, I give a C minus. The 4 days on the islands, I give an A. That was nice. It was really good. I will have to say that I don't recommend that you do the excursions unless you just have to. The excursions are extremely expensive, in my opinion. Some of them were $250 per person and up. There were some that may be a little cheaper. But what we did was we rented a car. And renting a car was much cheaper than there were three of us, and me and my two sisters. So can you imagine three of us paying 250 each to go on an excursion? So that's $750. We rented a car one day for like 200 and another day for 140, I do believe. Now, I do recommend that if you're going to rent a car that you reserve that car in advance uh, so that you can be assured that it's there. When we got off the boat the first day in Maui, there was within walking distance, an Enterprise car rental service, but everybody had already reserved those, and we had made the mistake of not reserving a car. So we had to get an Uber over to the airport, which wasn't far; it was a couple of miles. But we went over to the airport and rented a car, which was kind of a hassle, but it was our mistake. You live and you learn. So this is my advice to you: if you're going to do it, make sure that you reserve your car ahead of time. We took a drive around Maui. Maui was fun. It was a beautiful place, very hilly. We saw some things. We got out and walked and saw Twin Falls, um, waterfalls, and we enjoyed it. So there was only 2 days that we rented a car, and that was our first day. We rented it on the first day and the last day. The 2 days in between, there were things within walking distance. Um, one the one day we actually met up with my sister's son. Him and his wife was stationed there. Since they've gone to California, but they were stationed there. So we met up with them. But when we got off of the boat, there were places to shop real close to the boat. And then there was a man standing there with a sign that says free ride to the beach and the mall. So there was a mall on one side of the road and the beach was on the other. The only catch was this bus had a store that it's called Hilo Hattie's. And the store was right in the mall. And the ride was free to get there, but in order to ride back, you had to show a receipt that you bought something. It could be as small as a pack of gum or a postcard. It didn't matter. It didn't have to be expensive. You just had to have the receipt stamped. The problem with that was the last bus left at 3 o'clock. But so we didn't take the bus back. We had to Uber back. But anyway, so we took him up on that offer and we went and we did go in the store and we bought some things that were really cute. And we met my nephew in the mall at a restaurant, and him and his kids and his wife, we had lunch with them. It was a wonderful time. And from there, we just went across the street to the beach. I never swam in the Pacific Ocean, so I got to swim in the Pacific Ocean and I went snorkeling. We did see some turtles and we had a good time. We really enjoyed ourselves. When that was over, it was too late to catch the bus back, of course. We went back into the mall and we did a little shopping and we Ubered back. And that was our last full day in Hawaii. The 2 days in between, no, that wasn't our last full day. I'm sorry, that was our third day. It was not our last day. It was our third day, second or third day. But anyway, the last day we rented a car for $140 and we went to the Volcanoes National Park and we got to see the volcano. It was smoldering. I posted some videos on here about that, showing you the volcano. And then we went to some place, it's called the Black Sands Beach. And the sand was literally black. It was amazingly beautiful. I'm so glad that we didn't miss that. Uh, we really enjoyed that. We had a great time. And then, of course, there was 4.5 days back. And I say half days because it was 4 days at sea. And the fifth day, we didn't get off the boat till 3 o'clock. So to me, that's 4.5 days. Um, Again, kind of boring for someone who's active and needs to be up and doing things. I read a lot of books, did we did take games and played games. There's a new game that I learned how to play. It's called Sky Joe. It's only found on Amazon. Pretty fun game. We played that and we played Mexican Train, which was fun. Anyway, so the day we went to Ensenada, we got off the boat around 3 and we went into the town, and I do have some videos of that. There were a lot of people, Mexican people, out with, it was almost like a flea market. I guess it is a flea market. And we enjoyed that, and we just had a really good time there. Ensenada was absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend seeing Ensenada. One thing I wanted to tell you about my experience on this trip with the Pacific Ocean. I did not like being at sea on the Pacific Ocean. It was very, very choppy. The boat was constantly moving. I don't get seasick, thankfully. My sister does, but she had a patch, so she was fine. But it was constant moving. When the waiters and waitresses would come to serve you, we had to sit down dinner every night. When they would come to serve you, they would be back and forth, and they have their sea legs, so they know what's going on. But it was very choppy. And to be quite honest with you, from California to almost just the day before we hit Hawaii, it wasn't warm outside. It was chilly, it was windy, and it wasn't at all what I expected. I don't know what I expected because I've never been out there, but I didn't really like that part. We had a balcony, but we couldn't actually sit out there on it too much until closer to Hawaii. So anyway, we finished in Ensenada and we docked back in California, Long Beach, California, on the last day. Before we got on the cruise, we did go out a couple days early. And the reason being, I know a lot of people fly out that day, the day of their cruise. They're like, well, we're going to fly out. Well, I don't recommend that because you don't know if your flight's going to be delayed or what. So we went out on a Thursday. Part of the reason is, and this trip was a bucket list trip for me. I like Disney, and I've always wanted to go to Disney California. So when we got there on Thursday, of course, there's a 3-hour time difference, so it wasn't too late when we got there. So we walked. Our hotel that we got was zero point 0.9 miles from Disney in Anaheim, California. We walked to Disney and we went into Disney Springs and we checked out, not Disney Springs, they call it downtown Disney in California. In Florida, it's Disney Springs. So we did a nice walkthrough of downtown Disney and we went back to the hotel and we rested. The next day we went into Magic Kingdom Park, but Magic Kingdom Park, to be honest with you, if you are a person that enjoys Florida, it's quite a different experience. Uh, Smaller, which I guess it has to be because there's not a lot of room. But we did enjoy it. It was like I said, it was a bucket list thing. We got it done. We did that one day, and then the next day they have a park right there with the Magic Kingdom Park. They have California, and we went in there and we spent the day in there. We did enjoy ourselves. So I got Disneyland California off my bucket list. I got Hawaii off my bucket list, and I will never, as long as I can help it, ever spend 4 days at sea again. I hated it. Now, I did talk to people that loved it. They loved it, and it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. I don't recommend it. But me, you may enjoy it. Overall, it was a really good trip. It was with my sisters. We had a lot of time together. It was nice to just be with them and enjoy going to Hawaii. My husband didn't really want to go. He's not a big Hawaii fan. I went to Alaska. I can give you a review on that at a later date. But yeah, I enjoyed the trip. I'm glad to be home. But if you take a look back, you will see some of I did a video of the room we stayed in and of our balcony. I did a video on Carnival. They do a Seuss on the Loose breakfast. I did a little video on that, and I hope you enjoy them. And I hope everybody's having a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.